everyone, it's Jen. Welcome back. So today I have my TBR for June. So we are going to play Shuffle My Shelf. I have my cards right here. I decided I'm going to shuffle between each draw just to keep it extra interesting. I'm very hopeful that I can read more books in June than I have the last few months because I will be off work. And so I'll have obviously more time to dive into some of these titles. So I'm really excited. We'll get playing the game here in a minute. I have a few books that I have pulled that I'm hoping will fit whatever cards that, I pull, whatever fate has in store for me. I'm hoping I can fit some of these books in. The first one being The Butcher by Jennifer Hillier and Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. These are both authors I'm trying to read to zero this year, so I pulled those two. This one's happening no matter if it fits a prompt or not, and that is book 3, Ruin by John Gwynne. This is the Faithful and the Fallen series that we started at the end of the year last year. Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand and I are buddy reading this series. This is book 3 out of 4. I actually am like 100 pages in. Honestly, I'll probably have to maybe reread them. We'll see, but I have to read this in June. We talked about reading this in June, so hopefully this will fit a prompt. The next two are still books 2 and 3 of a vlog I want to do for you guys where I try the first book in a few different detective series that I have on my shelves. So I'm hoping that fits one of the prompts. And then this stack of 4, these are still left over from my spring TBR jar video where I pick prompts and I pick books for the season. So A Curse So Dark and Lonely, The Arrangement by Robin Harding, An American Marriage by Tayari Jones, Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. So hopefully those will fit somewhere. And then last but not least, I'm hoping that this will work. So I'll try to remember to put it down below if you haven't seen it, but I did my second revisit book haul video where I pick one book that I still haven't read, that I still have on my shelves from 2 years ago. And I pick one to add to my TBR. And what I picked that round was You Know What You Did by K.T. Wynn. So this is another hopeful. So that is my stack of hopefuls. We will just get playing. Before we get playing the card game, though, Shuffle My Shelf, I do have a book for Buzzword and On the Cover challenge that I'm doing all year long. So this month for June, Kayla over Books and Lala, again, is the creator of Buzzword. This month it is a one-word title. And then the clue for On the Cover the prompt for On the Cover this month is wings. So I want to pick up Flock by Kate Stewart. This is number 1 in a romance trilogy. I don't know if you can see it, but there is a bird right here. There are the wings. By Kate Stewart. This is a romance. It says, can you keep a secret? I grew up sick. Let me clarify. I grew up believing that real love stories include a martyr or demand great sacrifice to be worthy. Because of that, I believed it, because I made myself believe it, and I bred the most masochistic of romantic hearts, which resulted in my illness. When I lived this story, my own twisted fairy tale, it was unbeknownst to me at the time because I was young and naive. I gave into temptation and fed the beating beast, which grew thirstier with every slash, every strike, every blow. Triple Falls wasn't at all what it seemed, nor were the men that swept me under their wing. But in order to keep them, I had to be in on their secrets. Secrets that cost us everything to keep. That's the novelty of fiction versus reality. You can't relive your own love story because by the time you've realized you're living it, it's over. At least that was the case for me and the men I trusted my foolish heart to. Looking back, I'm convinced I willed my story into existence due to my illness, and all were punished. That premise has me so intrigued, tells me nothing, which I really appreciate. Sometimes when you read the premise of a book, it gives away too much. This one does the opposite. I have no idea what this is about. What is her secret? What is her illness? This came highly recommended. This is a romance series. It came highly recommended to me by my friend Karen at work. So Karen, I'm listening to you and I'm going to read it in the month of June. And I can't wait to tell you my thoughts. So that is Flock by Kate Stewart. So that one's happening for sure. That and Ruin by John Gwynne. So that is 2 so far on my TBR. Also, I wanted to point out, I'm sure you guys are subscribe to Sarah and Lindsey's channels. If you're not, please check them out. They're not only my best friends, but also they give such good content, recommendations. They have something that they have been doing. So Sarah's channel is Sarah's Nightstand, and Lindsey is over at Lindsey's Little Library. But they created Roll Your Next Read, which is a reading challenge that you're welcome to play along with for the months of June, July, and August. I have printed it out right here. So what I'm going to do to support them and to play along, because I've done it before and I've had so much fun, I am still going to do my card game and pick out my cards. But when I am ready to start a new book, every time I'm going to roll and play Roll Your Next Read and pick a book from my TBR that best fits the prompt. Now, I might get a prompt that fits nothing over the summer, and I might add that as like a bonus read. We shall see. My plan is to film my reads on my Instagram channel. Again, that's found down below in the description if you are interested in following me there. But I think I will roll and record that and pick a book over there on Instagram. So that being said, go check that out if you haven't checked it already. I will link their channels below. It's a lot of fun, low pressure, just a lot of fun. And with it being dice on top and on bottom, when you roll 2 dice or one dice twice, the intersection of your roll gives you 2 different prompts every time. So you kind of have a choice too, which I really appreciate. Should hopefully help me fit some of my TBR prompts already. Okay. Now that that's all out of the way, let's go ahead and shuffle and pick my first card for Shuffle My Shelf for the month of June. I'm so excited. I have way too much fun doing this. I say this every year or every month. Okay, what's going to be the first draw? Let's see. A Queen of Spades. A Queen of Spades. All right, Queen of Spades is, okay. Project TBR 26 and 26, and a spade is a book in a series. Okay, let me give that some thought and I will be right back. Okay, so I should have mentioned this. If you're new here, Project TBR 26 and 26 is just a fun challenge that I put out because the year is 2026 and there are 26 letters in the alphabet, and I came up with a prompt based upon each letter, so kind of an alphabet challenge, if you will. Here's my spread in my journal. Again, I'll try to remember to link that down below if you haven't seen that video yet. But for H, the prompt is haunting your TBR. So I am going to pick up The Butcher by Jennifer Hillier for that one because this has been haunting my TBR. I have owned this book for a while. I have wanted to read The Butcher by Jennifer Hillier for way longer than that. And it helps me with my Read to Zero challenge that I have this year for her. Yeah, this is what I'm going to pick up. This is a serial killer novel. Takes place in Seattle. We have a serial killer named the Beacon Hill Butcher, who is now 80 years old and retired. And his grandson, Matt, is helping him take care of him and his home. And when renovating this home, Matt discovers a crate buried in the backyard that holds a secret that is so terrible it's threatening to ruin all of their lives if the secret gets out, especially the life of his girlfriend, Sam, whose mother was killed when she was only 2 years old. So Matt struggles with his family secret. I don't want to read any more. I've heard this is some people's favorite Jennifer Hillier, which are strong words. So I am so curious to see what I think about it. So this is going to be for my Queen of Spades, Project 2020 or 2026 TBR, for something that has been haunting my TBR for a long time. So there we go. That book is added. Hi. Me from the future. As I was thinking about it, I know The Butcher was Project TBR, something that was haunting my TBR that was in a series. So I kind of forgot to mention it's technically not a series, but it does take place in the same universe as Freak and Creep. It is number 3 in that universe. So we are still going to go with that for that card pick. Okay, here's back to the video. It's added. Okay, let's shuffle again and pick out our second card. Okay. Oh, it's upside down. Okay, 4 of diamonds. 4 of diamonds. That is a favorite author that is new and shiny. So a 2026 release from a new author. Okay, this one was pretty easy. So for a favorite author, a new release of 2026, I'm going to go with The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. This is perfect because I already feel late to the game on this one. My mom has read and loved it. Sarah has read and loved it. Someone at work had read and loved it. So I am anxious to pick this up. I am 100% expecting this to be 5 stars, so I hope I'm not disappointed. But this is a romance, obviously. And we have a girl who is dating someone but might be in love with his best friend. So there you have it. That's what I'm going to read for that. I normally pick 5 cards because I usually have my Go With The Flow book, which I'm not going to tell you what that is for June. I also have the buzzword and on the cover, but because the buzzword and on the cover are matching this, I'm one book for both prompts, I am going to draw 6 cards for the month of June. So I just wanted to throw that out there. But for book number 2, that is Abby Jimenez's new book. So excited. My Go With The Flow prompt this month is a book by an author that has the opposite gender. So you still don't know what I read in May, but it was a romance that was a female author. So I'm going to pick a male author for that as well. I'm not going to show you what that book is, but I already have it on my TBR for June. So far we are already up to 4 books. So my Go With The Flow book, my first 2 cards, and then my flock. Okay, so let's see. All right, let's shuffle again. We're going to pick 4 more cards. Because why not? I love doing this. Okay, a Queen of Spades. Okay, so another queen. All right. So Queen again is Project TBR 26 and 26. And Spades is a backlist book. So that should be pretty easy. Let me look at my pile and see if I can make any of these fit. Okay, I know it was like 2 seconds for you guys, but that took forever. So I decided to fill the prompts for my Project 26 and 26 for an emotional read for the letter E. And so that is, and it's also on my spring TBR jar prompt. So An American Marriage by TBR Jones. I'm itching to get to this anyways, and I think this is going to be emotional because we have a marriage that is torn apart because the husband goes to jail. And while her husband is in jail, she begins to develop a relationship with, I think, her husband's best man, so a close friend. I've heard it's beautiful, and I feel like this is going to be a very emotional read, a very hard-hitting read. So, yeah, it's going to talk about betrayal, injustice, marriage, love. Yeah, you're going to see a wife that is just torn with her choices, and I believe he gets out of prison and they try to continue on their marriage and start their life together again. So I think this is going to be a hard read, an emotional read. So we're going to go with that one for my Queen of Clubs. Okay. All right, we have 3 more. Shuffle again. That was a bad shuffle. That was embarrassing. Okay, there we go. 8 of Hearts. 8 of Hearts. Perfect. Not a queen again. Okay, so a library read that is a mood read. Okay, well, that's easy. I obviously am not at the library right now. However, I will film myself going to the library and picking a book for this prompt, and I will enter that clip right here so you know what book I am going to pick for my library mood read prompt. Hello everybody, it is the next day and I am about to go into my library and pick out some kind of mood read that I feel like reading. I will take you in there with me and show you what I pick. I made a decision. It was hard. It was easier after I narrowed it down to the 3. Then I did try a chapter, and although I really enjoyed the try a chapter of actually all 3, I decided to go with a thriller just because that was the mood I was in, and it was a mood pick. So I went with Every Last Secret by A.R. Torrey. I am so excited. This is we have a rich family. We have neighbors that move in next door, and the wife is jealous of the rich wife's husband, and the wife that moved next door doesn't have all the money and everything, and she is coveting her rich neighbor's life, and etc. So I've heard it's dark and twisted and rich people behaving badly, which doesn't always work for me, but I've heard really good things about this from people that have read it that I trust. You know who you are. And so, yeah, this is what I'm picking for my June TBR. Thanks. And back to the regularly scheduled video. Okay, two more shuffles. Okay. King of Diamonds. Okay, 12 faves from 12 faves. That is a 2026 release. Ooh, I don't know that any books on that list are have been released in 2026. So here's my 12 faves spread. Let me double check these doors. No. Did Atmosphere? No, that came out in 2025. I think, did the Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre come out in 2026? Maybe. Okay, that is going to be the only option. Let me double check and see what year the Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre by Philip Fracassi, what year that was published. I'll be right back. Okay, unfortunately, it was released in 2025, so I am going to reshuffle for my 4th pull because I just don't have anything that will match it. So, or 5th pull. The 4th pull was the library read. I'm going to forget about that one. Okay, let's try again. I left that King of Diamonds out because it didn't work out. That's what happens when you come up with your own game. Sometimes you learn as you go. All right. The next one is 5 of Diamonds. Okay. 5 of Diamonds is a 5-star prediction that is a new and shiny. So a 2026 release, 5-star prediction. Well, for sure, that would have worked for Abby Jimenez. However, I picked that for something else. Ooh, I don't know. I'll be back. Okay, I haven't even hauled this yet. This was going to be in a future video, so spoiler alert. But for this prompt, I am going to go with 5 by, I think it's Ilona Bannister. This is a brand new release. I think it came out like last Tuesday. But this one sounds so good. We have a twisty thriller that takes place in a subway tunnel. I think this one is extremely fast-paced, page-turning. It says, have you ever tried to pass the time by imagining the lives of the strangers standing next to you? All the time. I love going to the beach and people watching. That's one of my favorite activities with a good book. But in this book, we meet 5 people that are waiting for a train. We, as the reader, do not know which one is going to die very soon. None of the 5 people are saints. We have a beautiful young man who is going to be gambling his life away. We have a woman who has fallen but is refusing help. You have a child throwing a tantrum. Do you want to judge his mother? Sure, she must be to blame. There's a businessman that is damaged, orbiting all of them. So we don't know which. Oh no, it says, these are the candidates for this morning's misfortune. They don't know it, but you do. So as the reader, you know which one. And you, our complicit reader, will not be able to resist deciding who deserves to walk away and who deserves only 5 more minutes to live. So I don't know. It almost feels like a choose your own adventure, although I know it's not. It looks like you get alternating points of view in the chapters. So yeah, I don't know. It just sounds interesting, and I really think this will be 5 stars, and it's called 5, so I think that's perfect. 5 for 5 star. We are going with it. Okay, so my last shuffle for my TBR for June. Oh boy, another bad shuffle. That's okay. All right, what do we have? A 10 of hearts. 10 of hearts. Ooh, a bestie spinner wheel. I love doing this, and it's going to be a mood read, which is perfect because obviously it's a mood read because we're going to let the spinner wheel decide my fate. I will be back. I'm going to get that spinner wheel pulled up on my computer, and we shall see what I get. Okay, I took off the book I'm reading this, or I read this month in May, The Serpent King by Jeff Zettner. So I took that one off. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle this. If it wants to work. Oh, it is shuffling. All right, so here we are. Here's the bestie spinner wheel. I did take off my May read by Jeff Zettner called The Serpent King because I already read that one. So we shuffled it, and now we are going to spin. What do the fates have in store for me? Okay, Transcendent Kingdom. This is a pick from Amanda. Okay, Transcendent Kingdom by Gyasi. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I don't own this book. This is an Amanda pick. Since I'm going to the library to pick out something for you guys there from my earlier draw, I will see if they have this in store or in whatever I'm trying to say. I will see if they have this to check out. If not, I will have to figure out how to get my hands on a copy. But it sounds really good. So this is going to be a very intimate, raw, powerful book, deeply layered, it says, and it's about a family that lives in Alabama that is from Ghana. We are following Gifty. Gifty is a 50-year candidate in neuroscience at Stanford School of Medicine, studying reward-seeking behavior in mice and the neural circuits of depression and addiction. Her brother, Nana, was a gifted high school athlete who died of a heroin overdose after a knee injury left him hooked on OxyContin. Oh my God, that's horrible. Her suicidal mother is living in her bed. Gifty is determined to discover the scientific basis for the suffering that she sees all around her. But even as she turns to the hard sciences to unlock the mystery of her family's loss, she finds herself hungering for her childhood faith and grappling with the evangelical church in which she was raised, whose promise of salvation remains as tantalizing as it is elusive. Transcendent Kingdom is a deeply moving portrait of a family immigrants ravaged by depression and addiction and grief, a novel about faith, science, religion, and love. Exquisitely written, emotionally searing, this is an exceptionally powerful follow-up to her debut. Her debut is Homecoming, which I also haven't read. So I am excited. This is a new to me author. I cannot wait to try it out. I'm hoping my library has it. If not, I will get my hands on a copy. Okay, so June should be a very busy month with reading, which I'm excited for. I obviously have 2 books that I need to pick up for my library, so that's for 2 prompts. Ruin is Happening by John Gwynne, a 5-star prediction, 26 release. This one is an emotional story for my project 2626, An American Marriage. Then we have a book that has been haunting my TBR, The Butcher by Jennifer Hillier, and a 2026 release by a favorite author that I want to read, Abby Jimenez. And then Flock, which is going to be booked, or a buzzword for one-word title, and Wings on the Cover. So there you have it. I also have a Rosie Walsh, her new release, on my Kindle that is a NetGalley read that I'm also hoping to start and finish in June. And I have a whole nother stack, which I showed you in the beginning, of books that could possibly be read in June, depending on how much reading I can actually get done while I'm off of work. So I'm excited. What are you guys going to read in June? I know summer is technically doesn't start till the 21st, I believe, of June, but I'm already in this summer vibe, feeling, wanting to read, romances and quick thrillers, and also dive into an epic fantasy. So I'm very happy with these books on my TBR. Let me know what you're reading down below. I love chatting with you guys. Thanks as always for being here, and I will see you soon. Bye.